Who here knows who this is? Anybody?
That's my age.
It's Mike Tyson. He's one of the greatest boxers to ever fight. He's up there with Muhammad Ali. Because of his achievements in the ring, he earned over $700 million throughout his career. This was his net worth in 1995. In 2003, however, he had to file for bankruptcy. He lost all of it. Who knows who this is?
Allen Iverson.
Yes, sir. It's Allen Iverson, one of the most influential basketball players to ever play. $150 million he made from his salary alone, and then he made another $50 million from his lifetime endorsement deal with Reebok. That's over $200 million that he made throughout his career. Yet somehow in 2012 he had to file for bankruptcy. So how do these famous athletes, how do these people with so much money, hundreds of millions of dollars, end up going broke? I think Dave Ramsey sums it up pretty well. He says you must gain control over your money or the lack of it will forever control you. Dave Ramsey is a very well-known American radio host and businessman, and he's known for giving financial advice to people on how to manage their wealth. I'm Edward Castle.
I'm Atta Javed.
I'm Asha Jackson.
And Dylan Langford.
I'm Srijani Kambara.
And we are
Tyson's Credit Union.
In our opinion, low-income families and college students are the most vulnerable groups of people in our area to be put in the situation of these athletes. If these athletes that made hundreds of millions of dollars end up losing all that money, then these two groups surely can as well, and it's happening every day. Which is why we want to help these two groups out by holding sessions in the greater Dallas area on teaching how to manage your money the best way possible. Like I said, we are Texans Credit Union. We're partnering with Habitat for Humanity. They're a nonprofit organization aimed at giving people temporary places to live when natural disaster hits. Low-income households and college students will be our target. And these sessions that we will be holding will be called Financial Literacy 101. I'll pass it over to Ash.
Thanks, Eddie. So I'll be discussing the actual curriculum for Financial Literacy 101. So our first topic is called the importance of saving money. Now, I want to ask you guys, were you aware that in the United States, only 30% of people are able to have a savings in the event of an emergency? To have something to tap into in the event something happened. Take our local Dallas market, for example. We recently had a tornado. Can you imagine if 1,000 people were impacted and only 300 people were ready for something like that? Or what if one of us, God forbid, was driving home and we got into a car accident and we had medical bills to pay? What would happen if we didn't have a savings plan? That's what our first topic is going to cover. We want to be able to educate people not only on the importance of savings, but the different vehicles you have out there to help you save money. We want to help people understand habits they can adapt to save money each month, and just some of the skills they may be able to implement in their day-to-day spending to maybe help them save some money. Our next topic we'll be covering is money management. So what does this entail? This entails, what is a bank account? Why would you want to have a bank account? I could keep my money under my mattress if I wanted to. I know I've done that in the past. But this will really give our viewers a foundational base on what a bank is, what a checking account is, what a savings account is, how to write a check. Why would I use bill pay instead of writing a check? It'll provide them foundational, fundamental skills that they can use for the rest of their lives. Our next presentation is buying versus renting. So this pertains to their living status or their living situation. So why would I buy a home or why would I rent an apartment? I'll give you an example. Maybe I just graduated from UTD and I just got a job at a great corporate company downtown. Would I want to buy or would I want to rent? What are the upfront costs for both? What are the long-term costs for both? We want individuals who attend this session to understand which one may fit their lifestyle. What is homeowners insurance? What are taxes? How is that going to impact me on a day-to-day basis? So when you walk away from this seminar, you'll really be able to narrow down which one best suits your lifestyle. Our next presentation is Credit 101. So let me ask you guys another question. How many of you want to work for a Fortune 500 company, a multinational corporation? A lot of people, right? What if I told you a lot of multinational corporations can look at your credit or pre-screen your credit when you're a candidate for a job to maybe eliminate you from getting that job? Credit can have a huge impact on your day-to-day lives, and a lot of people don't realize that. What about insurance? What What if I told you that insurance premiums can be impacted by your credit? The amount of money you pay each month or annually can be directly impacted by your credit score. So this is one of our most popular topics because people love to understand what is credit, how does it impact me, how can I maintain a good credit score, what are some things I can do to prevent my credit score from going down, and what are some real-life ways that it can impact me on a day-to-day basis. And then our last presentation is retirement planning. So who here wants to work until the day they die? I'm not surprised nobody raised their hand, because I know I don't. So retirement planning 101 is one of those subjects a lot of people don't think about till it's too late. We don't want people in the local Dallas area to face that situation. We want them to be ready for their retirement. So when's a good age to start saving? What's a 401k? Maybe I own my own business. How can I save for my retirement? These type of questions we want to answer in this seminar. So I'm going to pass it on to Asha, who's going to talk a little bit about our scheduling.
Thank you, Anna. So I'm going to talk about our schedule, which will include a 5-month implementation plan. During our first step, we're going to work on logistics with Habitat for Humanity as well as college campuses. During our second step, we're going to be confirming and finalizing the program details as well as the program location. During our third step, we're going to be recruiting volunteers. This will be internally with Texans Credit Union as well as externally with college students and high school students. During our fourth step, we will be doing advertisement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we're going to work with Habitat for Humanity with this because they have centers located all throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and so this will help us with the advertisement. And our last and final step, we're going to implement these workshops and get this program out into the community. So you may be asking yourself, okay, this sounds great, but how will this work? So I'm going to go over some of the logistics regarding our program. So we're going to have free presentations monthly. As Ada just mentioned, the curriculum, which will cover these presentations. And at the end of the presentation, we will have quizzes that the participants will take. And depending on the score of the participant taking the quiz, they will receive different giveaways and incentives. And so they will leave with something from the presentation, knowledge as well as giveaways that they will receive. We will also have a rewards program which will include the volunteer work for the internal volunteers within Texans Credit Union. We'll also have seminars. So these seminars will be hosted at the different bank branches around the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well as the Habitat for Humanity, which is our nonprofit location. We really want to focus on building a community. So we want to build that relationship with the residents of the local community and Texans Credit Union. So we don't want this to be just a program and then it ends. We want to really focus on building that community with them and making this long lasting so whenever they have issues or they need help with their financial needs, we can assist them with that. Next, Dylan's going to discuss, I'm going to pass it over to Dylan, he's going to discuss the cost factor of this program.
Thank you, Lisa. So, our cost factor is going to be somewhat low because we are using our public resources to create this presentation, just that we've gained from our insights through graduating and through working at this bank right here, Texans Credit Union. One of the best things that I like about it is, if I can see raise your hands real quick. Who's hungry? Yeah, just about all of us, me too. Don't worry, we're all in the same boat here. But we're using food as an incentive to get people to come. I mean, yes, the giveaways are awesome, free laptops awesome, but so it's like a 3-course buffet, so that's pretty cool too. But anyways, we're using food as an incentive to get people to come because I know, that's one thing that'll help people stay is meals throughout, snacks throughout, because some of these presentations will vary in length. So I think it's good that we're able to keep them there and, keep them fed, keep them energetic, especially if you're not able to get a meal somewhere else. So our seminar budget, I'll break it down in just a moment, but we are putting a lot of resources into this. And so you may be thinking, okay, is this feasible? How are we going to be able to pay for it? What we're going to be using is we're adopting the Community Reinvestment Act, which is which is a mandate enacted in the 80s by banks, which basically requires them to donate a portion of their proceeds to either a charity or a nonprofit organization in their local area. Now, using these funds, we have our resources over here. So like food and seminar supplies, we're estimating about $1,000 per. So I like this because our food budget being $1,000, like I said, we're able to provide full meals, we're able to provide snacks, and it gives us a large amount of budget per seminar. That way, depending on the outcome of the amount of people there, we're able to feed everybody and even have leftovers to take home which will, incentivize them to come back as well, which I think is super important. The seminar supplies is going to be certain things that, we may or may not have there, but we want to be prepared. So we're going to have tables, chairs, projectors, any kind of equipment that may be necessary there. We want to stay prepared and make sure we can give them the best presentation possible. I'll tie that kind of into the IT and equipment setup as well, which is $1,500 per seminar. We don't want this to be something where, someone's sitting there clicking through a slideshow and explaining it like it's a boring class. We want to have someone who's able to present it, keep the audience interested. We want to make sure that somebody's running the slideshow. We want to make sure that somebody's able to, control the lights. We want to make sure we have a professional setup. It's not just something that's going to sit there and be boring. We want to make sure you're fed. We want to make sure you're happy. We want to make sure this presentation wow, while also teaching you some of the most important skills that you'll need for your financial literacy. Certificates and giveaways are probably some of the most important things. So guaranteed, if you complete 3 of the classes, you're going to get $50. That's going to be $50 Visa prepaid gift card, so that's guaranteed you don't have to complete 3 of your classes. Now, the incentive to completing all 5 of these is you're going to get a free laptop. So the way to get that free laptop and the $50 gift cards is going to be through going through those quizzes. Now, making sure they pass the quizzes is going to make sure that they're not just coming there for the free food or the free laptop, but to make sure they're actually learning and they're gaining this knowledge and insight. So those are some of the cool things that you can win by going through those classes. Now, there are giveaways too at the end of each of these classes. So even though you may be waiting for your second and third class, your first class, you may win a Chromebook. You may win school supplies, which is one of the things that I know as a college student and as some low-income families aren't able to provide for aren't able to provide for themselves or for their children as well. So we're also providing gift cards too. So $50 to Whataburger, $50 to Tom Thumb or Walmart. So there are giveaways at the end of each class as well, which will incentivize people to stay. Now we're estimating hopefully 2,000 to 3,000 people. We really hope we can make these numbers grow. So we're looking at about 60,000 per year running this throughout the year. Now, we hope through the coming years, though, if this is successful, to double the amount of seminars we're able to have. So we're really hoping that other than the 60,000 per year, we're able to run this program more than once. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Srijani. She's going to explain the staffing portion of it.
Thank you, Dylan. So as Asha stated previously, our staffing will consist of internal and external volunteers. And our internal volunteers will be employees who will be volunteering in exchange for a rewards program. And essentially, this rewards program will train our employees and help develop their leadership skills. Additionally, according to Forbes, these corporate volunteer programs are proven to drive employee engagement, which means that there will be a higher employee retention and it will reduce turnover costs for the company. Our internal volunteers will be volunteers that are college students and high school students who will be volunteering in exchange for community service hours. This will allow us to have face-to-face interactions with our local community as well. And to wrap things up, well, like Atta stated previously, the need to know financial literacy is much more important today than it was 10 years ago. But schools are still not including this in their curriculum. So as students are coming out of high school, college, and starting to make a living of their own, they're unable to make good financial decisions. So to solve this problem, we as Texas Credit Union are proposing the program Financial Literacy 101, in which we will partner up with Habitat for Humanity and local college campuses to host workshops in the DFW Metroplex area. And these workshops will teach people how to manage their money wisely. As a prominent business in the local DFW area, it is our responsibility to make sure our local community is really good and help better it. And we'll be doing this by hosting these workshops, which will allow people to prosper and grow. Thank you so much for your time today, and if you have any questions, we can answer.